Your
local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Welcome to the What's on Your Mind show. I'm Doug Saltzman, filling in for Russ the second day in a row. I guess he's stuck out of town. I have a feeling, by the way, Bill Madden joining us in studio here. If you want to call in, feel free, folks, by the way. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Tell us the latest where you're living. You hit weather like this. After a while, you just have to kind of relax, maybe tell stories. We were telling stories the other day, some of us, about weather in the past, things that we remember of it. But glad to be in here. Happy to fill in for Russ for a second day in a row. And I'll be back later this afternoon for the afternoon drive show after the 5 o'clock news up until 6:40 p.m. tonight. We have another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. That Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show starts at 6:40. Laurel Highlands at Franklin Regional at 7:30, both on the radio and on the WMBS YouTube page as well. Who would think we'd have all these newfangled things in radio? Bill, of course, we got into this because we have faces for radio, but everything's changed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can watch you and your dangling mic springs.
Oh, you can see these springs here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are rigging something here, folks, but it's working out.
Yeah.
And we're staying on the air, and I want to thank TJ, of course, doing the news and helped me yesterday. I was stuck at home yesterday. I was telling part of this story earlier, and Bill said, wait, that's a good story if you're on the air. I live in an apartment, and I'm lucky enough to be able to park in a, not a garage, but a carport. Yeah. Well, the plow didn't make it, and I was asked to come in and do the show, and so I said, okay, let's see if I can get through this snow. I have a pretty small car, a little Toyota. I gave my my SUV to my daughter a couple years ago, who borrowed it for a few weeks. Then she blew out the engine, but, that's a whole nother matter. So I have this little Toyota. I get maybe 25 feet, and it just stops. And you could feel the car lift up in the air. Yeah. I opened the door, and the door is like a plow pushing the snow. That's how deep the snow was. In fact, I measured about 15 inches of snow outside my apartment. I went out there like a geek with a yardstick and measured it.
Or like every weather reporter in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, I'll finish the story, then we'll go to the National Weather Service story as well.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. In fact, I got out of the car, not realizing I had left it in drive. And I get out to see how bad it is, and I look in the front tires. It's a front-wheel drive car. The tires are spinning. It's just sitting there. No one's in the car, and that's how much the snow lifted the car off the ground. Just it being in drive is making the tires spin. Go no. I literally had to dig out the car with a push broom underneath, which then lowered the car back to the pavement. I could back it into the carport. I wasn't getting anywhere. Then a plow came. Finally, it got stuck. And this is a big truck. This is a big Ford truck.
Yeah, they generally have some heft to them.
Yeah, and it got stuck. So three of us are out there pushing it. And we're pushing this big F-250 or whatever it was with a plow in the front. And thankfully, we had a guy along for the ride who was about the size of Paul Bunyan, I think. He was doing most of the work, frankly. Although I think we probably could have got in the back of the truck for the weight may have got it
right.
Over. So he said, "There's no way I can plow
Won't be
this."
the first time you've been referred to as dead weight.
Dead weight, exactly. But boom.
We kid because we love. Yes.
Then he comes later to do the same thing. Boy, there's somebody noisy out in the hallway out there.
Yeah, we have some loud talk. Remember Seinfeld, the loud talker?
The loud talker, yeah. Then there was the low talker. Then the close talker.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of everything. Now that's okay. They want to be on the air with us. They can if they want to yell from the hallway. So the plow comes back later.
That's the scary thing. They're not yelling.
Yeah, exactly. The plow comes back later, gets stuck again. Why they thought they wouldn't get stuck a second time, I'm not quite sure. But then another plow comes and plows out the first truck and then plows the lot. I was able to get on my way today. So here I am. But yeah, it's a good snowstorm out there. I guess the official total at the Pittsburgh International Airport National Weather Service is about a foot.
Yeah.
But you get up on the ridges. I talked to somebody. They had 22 inches.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he
they
said,
always do, though.
they said even by the mountain standards, it is it's a lot of snow.
Yeah. They may be hardy folks up there, they are.
Yeah.
But you get 2 feet of snow. It's something to deal with.
That's right. Exactly. So good luck to them up there. Although the roads coming down Route 51 and the roads I was on here in the city of Uniontown were good and clear. So, yeah, not perfect. You still got to slow down a little bit. I wasn't quite doing the speed limit coming down 51. Other cars were. I saw a truck, big truck, of course, going way too fast.
Yeah.
And he lost it, man. Overcorrected to spin out and over into the embankment he went. I stopped to check on him. He was fine. That truck wasn't getting out of there. I don't care what. Yeah, you got
normally that would be the lead story on the nightly news.
Right.
But it's happening so much.
Right. Just because you have that big truck, yeah, you can go good in the snow. That doesn't mean you should drive faster.
Remember when the 4x4s were, they were fewer and farther between than they are now?
Oh, it's everything.
And those idiots with 4-wheel drives would just go, I've got a 4-wheel drive. I can go fast.
I can go anywhere, yeah.
And
they're not all idiots, but...
no, well, back then they were.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. So, folks, hey, you want to call and tell us your stories of the storm, give us a call at 724-438-4593. That's the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Tell us how the weather is where you are, how the roads are where you are. So far, so good where I've been driving today. Didn't get anywhere. Last night was bowling. You still have to go bowling.
Oh, yeah.
And that's...
I mean, you only have... before we leave this planet, you only have certain amounts of bowling you can do. So
exactly. So I had my buddy JB come and pick me up because I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
But that's that. Hey, we're speaking of the city.
How much does your car weigh? Like a piece of paper or something?
Oh, it's a Toyota Echo, which is one of the smaller cars. It's about as big as the desk I'm sitting at here.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a front-wheel drive. It's not a four-wheel car.
No, yeah, it's front-wheel. So yeah, that's it's a little rinky-dink thing, but it gets me around. It's been paid off for 27 years.
Yeah.
It's a 2001. That's what I'm driving
so you watch those commercials for those car warranties and go, actually, no, if it's over 20 years,
it's over. Yeah, it's way
they
too
won't
old.
insure them.
Way too old. We had that at one point, but it expired. Yeah. So, speaking of the city of Uniontown, Mayor Bill Gerke is going to join us coming up here at 1:40. We're going to get the latest on the city's response to that. We were also hoping to talk to somebody from Fayette Area Coordinated Transit, and right now it looks like we've got a call. So let's take this one, Bill, on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Hi, thanks for calling in. Who's joining us today?
This is Mike from Fairchance.
Hey, Mike, how are you? What's your storm story you want to share with us?
Well, the first thing I want to say is the wind. Nobody was talking about the wind, and I live in Fairchance, and I know Hopwood and all along Hopwood Fairchance Road. On Sunday, it had to be blowing 50 miles an hour. It was scary. It was blowing so hard. So a lot of the snow, I mean, at the end of the day, you could see grass because it just blew so much. And the other thing, then Sunday night, here comes the rain and the sleet. And yesterday, I had to clean ice off of my windshields. Now, I'm 71 years old. I've been here all my life, and I never had that thick of ice on my windshield. It was a quarter inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch thick.
Wow. See, now I didn't have that on my
car. I know. A lot of people didn't. But we were right in Fairchance, we got pounded. And I literally sprayed de-icer on it, and my scrapers weren't any good. I had to get my penknife. After about running in the defrost for a half hour, I could dig a hole and then pop and it was coming off in sheets.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the window was warm.
Yeah, I had not heard something like that around this area. But again, I've had the National Weather Service on this show and the afternoon drive show and AccuWeather I had on the other day too. And they will tell the stories of how it's so hard to forecast in an area like Fayette County. Down here in the lowlands, I don't know what to call this area, Uniontown, Collinsville, your area, compared to up up on the ridges, totally different. I mean, it might as well be two different worlds, they said, and trying to forecast those two areas can be a tough one. It's certainly not the same forecast.
What, I think from Fairchance to Connersville is a big difference. With the wind and the ice, I know we got ice. I don't know if Connersville did. They probably got more snow. And I don't think anybody got the wind that we got. So, yeah, I agree. It's hard to forecast.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your calling in and give us an update on the latest. How are the roads? Are you pleased with how the roads have been cleared?
Oh, yeah. I'm delivering medicine right now for a local pharmacy. And other than some back roads that are kind of like people park on both sides, so you got to kind of wait to get through, the roads aren't that bad at all.
Right.
But you got to be careful because a lot of people, they're pulling out with frosted windows and snow on the windows and they can't see. And I just had a guy pull out in front of me and I had to slam on the brakes and I was going 25, 30 miles an hour and he never even looked at me.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to use some common sense out there. Just the other day, of course, by the way, thanks for calling in. We really do appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Thanks for calling. Again, folks, if you want to join us, WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. I'm Doug Saltzman, hosting the show, subbing for Russ today, who's stuck out of town. That can happen, I think, to a lot of people these days. They're out and about. So, Bill Madden.
Have you had a flight scheduled for this weekend?
Yeah. 11.
Probably. By the way, that's one of my pet peeves, are these people that only clear a little patch on their front windshield.
Yeah.
And a little bit on the back windshield, and they're saying, I'm only going forward and backward. I don't need to clear the side.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
the side mirrors, clear those off.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Bill. Absolutely. Give us a call, 724-438-4593 here. And again, I'll be back this afternoon after the 5 o'clock news up till 6:40 as well. We're going to be checking in. There's a news conference this afternoon. Kevin McCarthy, Pittsburgh's own, will be introduced as the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brendan Howe, who writes for Athlon Sports and also the Butler Eagle newspaper, will be joining us. He'll be at that news conference covering it, and he'll join us to talk about the latest on that. Of course, Steeler Nation, they love to complain, and there's complaints about the new coach, but it's a classic, I think, Rooney choice. He is did I just say Kevin McCarthy is the new head coach? How about Mike McCarthy is the new head coach?
I'm the guest, so I'm not going to correct you.
Hey, you can correct me. Correct me. Kevin McCarthy, good heavens. Kevin McCarthy, what? He was Speaker of the House of Representatives. Yeah.
I think there was an actor named Kevin McCarthy, too.
Was there what?
Back in the 60s.
Well, How about Mike McCarthy? Greenfield Zone, of course, he went to St. Rosalia's grade school. I remember many years ago when the Steelers were playing the Packers in the Super Bowl, there was a nun from St. Rosalia saying, well, this is a tough one for us. Mike's one of our own here who grew up in Greenfield, went to St. Rosalia's. We're rooting for both teams. And if a nun says that, that's good enough for me.
That was the one where Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I believe, beat the Steelers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, that was when
interesting how things come around.
What goes around comes around, that's for sure. And I guess the gum chewing, this is old news, but the gum chewing special teams coach has now moved on. He is now, where is he? Miami? What did I hear?
I believe so. And, and he's
if not, I'll be corrected on that one, too.
Yeah, he has also signed an NIL with Double Bubble.
As he should. Who else? I guess and it's the offensive coordinators at Ohio. Where did he head to? He had to head to a college somewhere. So, yeah, I think they'll clear out the house. Maybe a few guys will be around.
Yeah, a new coach generally wants his own people in there.
That makes sense. Yeah,
By the way, one of those people is Aaron Rodgers, who apparently the Steelers are open to having him come back another year.
Hey, why not? We'll see what happens. Yeah, the offensive plan this year obviously wasn't working at times. Certainly not in that playoff game. Another nightmare playoff game by the Steelers. First half they held their own, but man, it fell apart after that. So,
but they did get their participation trophy for having another winning season.
They won the division, and they were selling $45 T-shirts that said AFC North division winners.
Yeah.
They were able to sell some of those T-shirts. I did not get one myself.
I don't think they're going to hang a banner.
Right. But yeah, no, they don't hang banners for that. Yeah. We're about a minute away from the CBS update at 1:31, and then as I mentioned,
we're hoping.
We're hoping CBS will do that. Little glitch with the new news. They've corrected that. We did have 1 o'clock news from CBS. New ownership over there. A lot of changes at CBS. So sometimes
I believe it's called firings.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. So we'll see what happens on that. And again, I'm glad to be with you here today. If you want to be first up after that break, give us a call. 724-438-4593. Tell us how the weather is. Tell us weather stories. I've got lots over the years. I remember the great Easter snow from many years ago. We had 2 feet of snow. It was an early Easter that year. I'll tell you that story coming up. I want to thank Bill for coming in for a few minutes with me. It's one of those days I had 3 guests cancel. That's what it's like in radio sometimes.
So I will be back. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we'll see what happens here. But we do have a guest coming up as well. But first, let's go to CBS News for that news brief. I'm Doug Saltzman, filling in today on What's on Your Mind. Thanks for joining us today. Stick around. We'll be right back.
CBS News Brief. Before leaving Washington for Iowa today, President Trump was asked about the second fatal shooting in Minneapolis, which he called very sad.
We're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Asked if Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is stepping down, he said no. The winter storm that swept across the country still making things miserable in the South. Katie Weiss is in Oxford, Mississippi.
The trees are droopy because of the weight of the ice. That caused a lot of the trees to snap and fall on power lines. It's also caused wooden power poles to snap themselves.
The scientists who set the so-called doomsday clock have come up with their latest assessment.
The doomsday clock is now set at 85 seconds to midnight. That's the closest to midnight that the clock has ever been.
Checking stocks on Wall Street at this hour, they're mixed. The Dow off 480 points. CBS News Brief, I'm Kat.
LK Incorporated Mobile Locksmith Service would like to take this time to congratulate our local Catholic schools as they celebrate Catholic schools, and they are happy to sponsor student announcements. Best wishes to the administrators, teachers, students, and parents from LK Incorporated Mobile Locksmith Service. Phone 724-438-LOCK. Pennsylvania registration number PA21514.
Hello, this is Mrs. Kilgore's first grade class from St. John the Evangelist Regional Catholic School, wishing you a happy Catholic Schools Week.
Our school is the best in town, best in town, best in town. Our school is the best in town. We love St. John's. We have fun and learn about God, learn about God, learn about God. We have fun and learn about God. We love St. John's. We play games and study hard, study hard, study hard. We play games and study hard. We love St. John's. St. John's is the place to be, place to be, place to be. St. John's is the place to be. We love St. John's.
Come and see all the exciting things that are happening at our school.
That Catholic Schools Week student announcement with this year's theme, Catholic Schools Faith Excellence Service, was brought to you by LK Incorporated Mobile Locksmith Service. Best wishes to the students, administrators, teachers, and parents from LK Incorporated Mobile Locksmith Service. Phone 724-438-LOCK. Pennsylvania registration number PA21514.
Main Street Theater Company proudly presents Grease on stage at the State Theater January 30th and 31st at 7 p.m. and February 1st at 2. Follow the journey of Danny and Sandy, the Pink Ladies, and the Burger Palace Boys in one of the world's most popular and enduring musicals, with an unforgettable soundtrack featuring hit songs like Greased Lightning, Hopelessly Devoted to You, You're the One That I Want, and more. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info.
Hello, I'm attorney Jeremy Davis from the law firm of Davis & Davis. We have been helping the great people of Fayette County for over 45 years with personal injury claims. If you are hurt or injured, call our law firm for your free consultation. The insurance companies are not on your side. Call us today at 724-437-2799. Either myself or an attorney from our office will personally come out and meet with you. If you're in an accident or hurt, call us at Davis & Davis, 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. Let us fight for you.
Happy New Year!
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clayton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dominic, Happy New Year to you.
Hey, JC, to you as well. Let me tell you how we are going to get this new year started off right. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 SCX and take up to $4,000 off MSRP on 2026 Explorer.
Dang, Dom, that's a deal. Listen, we have great offers on all of our new models. And check this out, leasing is back. Lease offers have gotten significantly better, so stop, click, or call to get all of the details.
Pre-owned, you know we got them. We have over 60 in stock. Most are certified with factory warranty and competitive rates.
We are continuing to offer mobile service, online maintenance appointments, and our very popular pickup and delivery option. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offers include all applicable incentives. Sale ends February 2nd.
That is the Rolling Stones bringing us out of the break here on a cold, cold day out there, folks. I'm Doug Saltzman, filling in for Russ here on the What's on Your Mind show. If you want to give us a call in, we have a couple guests coming up, but you can always jump on that WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. And joining us right now on that talk line from the Fayette Area Coordinated Transit, FACT, as everybody calls it, the Operations Manager, Christy Pillar. Christy, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you're staying warm.
We're trying to, yes. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. You're joining us today to give us an update. We've been getting updates at the national level, local level. Yesterday we talked to Commissioner Scott Dunn, and we'll be talking a little bit later to Mayor Bill Gerke from the Mayor of Uniontown. But we wanted to check in with you too. Not an easy time. Getting a car around in these conditions is tough. Driving one of these buses, I can't imagine what that must be like. And it's affected not just FACT, but, of course, Westmoreland County shut down yesterday. The Pittsburgh Regional Transit had very limited service yesterday, hours delays as well. But we wanted to check in with you, and because folks would be wondering what's available on the curb-to-curb service, that sort of thing. But you were FACT was shut down yesterday, correct?
Yes. Correct. Yeah. All of Fayette County offices were shut down yesterday.
Yeah. So in a situation like that, obviously it's a decision you don't want to have to make, but it's just a matter of safety for the passengers, but also the drivers and staff as well. What goes into making that decision beyond just the obvious that the roads just weren't passable at times?
No, they were not. You have the ice you're dealing with along with the snow. And we actually get the word that we were closing actually from the commissioners were the ones. And it takes a lot for you to really close down for the Fayette County area because FACT is very well needed, very much needed.
Right. We were talking yesterday to Commissioner Dunn, and he mentioned it's just not a decision that can be made willy-nilly, especially when it comes to something like the courts. You know, you have a court case might be going on, a delay could cause a dismissal or what have you. So it's not as simple as just saying, okay, let's just shut down. Those decisions have to be carefully thought out, and I'm sure there were a lot of text messages, emails, phone calls going back and forth Sunday. I guess to have it happen on a Sunday, that snowfall, I guess it allows you to make the decision a little easier when you have time to think about that and what's happening on a Monday. So give us an update of where we are right now in terms of service.
Right now, we do have all of our runs. They are running. The shared ride is running. They're curb to curb, and we also have our fixed routes. They are running. They are a little delayed because of the weather. Certain streets you're not able to go on, the side roads mainly. Your main roads are not doing too bad, but you also have accidents that we've been in touch with our dispatchers, and they've been getting a lot of calls of you have different accidents going on. Lines are down with the weather and everything that we've had. So, but we are up and running, even going to Pittsburgh. And like I said, they're a little delayed at times, but we are doing our best to get everybody there where they need to go safely.
Yeah. When you talk about accidents, you're not talking about accidents involving fact vehicles. But,
no, sir. No, not ours. These are other cars and different things like that, other passenger vehicles.
Yeah, that's the one thing people say, I got to get out on the road, especially on Sunday when they were saying, do not go out if you don't have to, unless you absolutely have to be, because blocking a road is not good to allow ambulances to get by, or fire trucks, police, etc. And so that was such an urgent call to say just stay off the roads unless you absolutely have to be out there. So your door-to-door service, you say, is now working. Obviously, people like that when it comes to doctor's appointments, but frankly, most doctors' offices were probably closed yesterday as well, I would guess, correct?
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were closed.
Yeah, I know there's been some changes when it comes to that door-to-door service. First, just give it the back people, since we have you on the phone, why don't you give us some background on that? What is available for folks and how they go about using it?
It's actually curb to curb.
Curb to curb. I'm sorry.
And
curb to curb.
Yeah, that's okay. It is curb to curb, and we will, if you have the qualifications for getting curb to curb, you can call in to our number before 2:00, the day prior to when your appointment is. We will also schedule up to 2 weeks prior to your appointment as well. And we will make the arrangements for you, and it goes into our system, and the bus will come to pick you up at your residence and to take you to your appointment, and will also pick you up at your appointment and take you back to your residence.
And what type of vehicles are used for that curb-to-curb service?
We have buses is what we use for the curb-to-curb. We have lifts, the ramps and things that we can be able to accommodate people with walkers, wheelchairs, things of that nature.
And these are not the standard FACT buses, right? These are smaller buses?
No, we have several different kinds.
Oh, okay.
But these are transit vans or buses that we call them. They're about 15,000 pounds apiece.
Oh.
Is what we have.
Gotcha.
And we do have a couple other ones. They are bigger vehicles for hauling more people as far as for our Nemacolin routes and our Uniontown routes.
Right. I know there have been some changes recently. If folks want to get these services, do they have to register in advance before making the reservation? How does the service work?
Yes, for the shared ride, yes, you do have to be registered. We have the forms here. You can also get on our website at www.factbus.com, and you can actually download the application. You can email it to us, along with you can send it in by the mail, or you can drop it off at one of our 2 locations.
Okay. So,
out at the Connellsville Airport is one, and at our transfer center, which is up by the Hillman Cancer Center on Transit Drive in Uniontown.
Yeah, up there, I guess behind Walmart is one way to describe where that area is. If folks don't have access or a computer access to the internet, can they request one to have that form sent to them?
Absolutely. All you have to do is call us, and we'll be more than happy in order to get you a form sent out to you.
Yeah. And again, you can do it you can make a reservation as much, you said, as 2 weeks in advance and no later than 2 p.m. the day before. But then again, if you call 2 p.m. the day before, it's whether a vehicle is available, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So we're up and running. FACT is up and running. That's what we wanted to make sure folks were aware of.
Yes.
And the county offices have reopened today, I understand. So they're up and running as well. But it's that term that you hear a lot anymore. Under an abundance of caution, the system was not operating yesterday. Westmoreland County was in the same situation. So better safe than sorry. Frankly, there weren't many places to go yesterday that were open. But again, the county had its critical services opened. Of course, EMS and fire for the local municipalities, and the Emergency Management Center, the 911 Center. Of course, you can't close a jail. So all those services are open, and that had to be open yesterday. We're talking with Christy Pillar, Operations Manager With fact, you came on the air with us on very short notice. So, Christy, we appreciate the update, what's going on, to make sure people understand what's happening out there. We appreciate you joining us today. Thanks, Christy.
Sure. Thank you for having me on. My pleasure.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Christy Pillar from FACT joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. Speaking of that talk line, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to check in with Mayor Bill Gerke from Uniontown to get an update on the city's response to the storm. And then if we have some time, you're welcome to call in too. Give us an update where you are, your memories of storms past. I have a great newspaper that I bought at a thrift shop that talks about a 20-inch snowfall back in the 40s. I couldn't find it at home. I was going to bring it in today. Maybe I'll bring it in tomorrow for the afternoon drive show. And it talked about how city services was completely shut down, including the trolleys that used to run on the streets as well. Now, let's take that break right now. We'll be back. You're listening to What's on Your Mind on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Saltzman. Glad to be here today. Filling in, I'll be back for the afternoon drive show as well.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
Tuesday is another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS. Join us for a night of boys high school basketball action as the Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the Franklin Regional Panthers. Brian Morozak and Steve Subrick have all the exciting action for you. The Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show starts at 6:40 in the evening with a tip-off at 7:30 on the radio at 590 and 101.1 and video coverage on YouTube. That's the Mustangs of Laurel Highlands taking on the Panthers of Franklin Regional Tuesday evening at 6:40 on your local station, WMBS.
In Catholic schools across the Diocese of Greensburg, education is more than academics. It's a foundation for life. Through faith-centered learning, academic excellence, and strong leadership formation, students are prepared to succeed and serve in today's world. Every lesson, every experience helps them grow into confident leaders grounded in faith and values. Catholic schools in the Diocese of Greensburg are growing a future of faith, excellence, and leadership. Discover more and schedule a private tour at CatholicSchoolsGuide.org.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, CaldwellBanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borch Jr.
Chesler's Fine Furniture is having a floor sample bedroom suit blowout. That's right, prices on all bedroom suits in stock have been drastically reduced. Stop in and take advantage of top quality suits available at low prices and ready for immediate delivery. Select from a wide variety of styles, finishes, and name brands, including Von Bassett, Riverside, AWF, and Pulaski. Here is a sample of the savings you'll get. A Von Bassett 4-piece set in cherry solids and cherry veneers with a rustic finish on all drawer fronts. The bed is Amish styled with clean lines and simple angles. Price was $49.99.95, now is $36.99. If you want a rustic 4-piece set, select a honey pine finish group that was $35.99.95 and is now $25.99. A nice starter 3-piece group is sale priced at just $12.99. Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends.
WMBS.
That's Chicago. Bring us out of the break here. Coming up, we have the 2 o'clock news coming up, national and local regional news in addition to weather and sports. And TJ will give you the latest on closings and shutdowns and delays tomorrow as well. I want to thank, just a few moments ago, Christy Pillar for joining us from FACT to give us the latest on the Fayette Area Coordinated Transit, the service affected by this weather, up and running again, including their curb-to-curb shared ride service as well. Joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, and we're getting to him late because of that earlier interview, and we appreciate your patience, and the mayor of the city of Uniontown, Bill Gerke. Mayor, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Sorry we're a little late getting to you, but we wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about the city's response to the storm. It's not unprecedented, but this was a pretty good storm for the city to deal with, wasn't it?
It sure was, Doug. And before we go any further, thanks for having me on. And I enjoyed just waiting, listening to the radio, taking a break for a few minutes.
Well,
But back to your question or your quote, yes, it was. You know, with the snowfall, of course, we've all seen larger snowfalls over the years, but combined with the cold temperatures and the longevity of this cold that they're calling for, it's been quite an impact on the city.
Yeah, when you talk about it's urban areas, tough at times to plow. Many times you have cars parked on both sides of the road and park legally if it's allowed in those areas. And then where do the plows push the snow to? That's an issue, and that's why it's so important on a day like Sunday that people if they didn't have to be out, not to be out, because if you're stuck on the road, you're just blocking emergency vehicles, plows, etc. When did the city start the plowing? Did they do it during the storm itself, or little by little? How was that decision made?
Well, we started on Sunday morning whenever the snow started up, and we've been going ever since. We'll take a little bit of time off at night, and we're working with a limited staff, and that's normal for us here. But for the work that we get done, and with the people that we have working, I think we're getting a job well done by the street department.
Yeah, it's not an easy process, especially as I mentioned earlier, when you have, even if you have cars parked on one side of the street, where are you going to put that snow? That's the key on.
That's right. We push it to one side of the street or the other side, but like there's a lot of streets in the city that there's cars parked on both sides, and one side or the other, somebody gets plowed in and they just have to work their way out, and we'll work with you. We've taken a number of calls today and the last few days about alleys being needed plowed. I think we're getting the alleys under control now, but I want people to understand that, our first job is to get the main thoroughfares cleared, and then we'll get back to the alleys. And we do understand that people park in the alley, and those have to be passable as well. So we're every call that comes in, I send it over to the street department, and they're right on top of it. I tell people whenever they call that they have a problem, I said, if something isn't handled within an hour, so give me a call back and I'll check on it. And I haven't had a call back yet, so our street department is really on top of things, and I want to send a shout out to everyone that works in the street department, and for that, everyone that works in the city, because it's just not the guys that are out plowing. It's the police, it's the fire department, and it's the people at City Hall that are all putting a real strong effort into making this a better place to live and getting people through this storm.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday with Commissioner Scott Dunn, and there's always an issue, not just in Fayette County, but in any area, when people decide if their street's not plowed, they call 911, and that's the last place you want to call to have a street plowed. That's for emergencies only. Yeah, it might be an emergency. You want to get you think it's an emergency, you want to get your street plowed, but the last place you want to call is 911. Correct on something like that?
Incorrect. Call City Hall. My phone's out there. I answer the phone 24 hours a day, And our street department is available all hours of the day as well. And if I ask them to go, it's not tell them. I ask them, they go and get that job done. And that, and whenever the street department gets there, the people might be upset at one time, but once they get there and get them cleared out, they're very happy then. And I've got a lot of thank yous as well.
That's great. But
the thank yous shouldn't come to me. They should go to that street department. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doug.
That's okay. I cut you off. I apologize. What number should they call if they have a question that's a non-emergency question? Obviously, if you have an emergency, you still want to call 911, but getting a street cleared, requesting to have that done is not an emergency. What's the best number to call if somebody wants to get a hold of City Hall?
Well, City Hall, and we're open from 8:30 till 4, 724-430-2900. And if it's after that, I might as well tell you because everyone has it. Just ring me up. My cell 724-880-6168. That's my job. That's what I signed up for. I don't hide.
Yeah, I tell you.
So if someone needs something done, please call me, and I'll do my darndest to get that problem taken care of.
Aren't too many mayors that are willing to give out their cell phone numbers. That's very impressive.
I'm sitting here with my wife. I came home about a half hour ago, and she just sits there and just shakes her head, but she knows that I live and die the city of Uniontown, and that's what I signed up for. It. I didn't do it for any other reason but to give back to the city that's been so good to me.
Yeah, again, during business hours, Monday through Friday, call 724-430-2900. That is, of course, City Hall, as we speak to Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke here on the What's on Your Mind show. Again, I'm Doug Saltzman filling in today for Russ. Russ is stuck out of town. He'll be back in, no doubt. And I'll be back with you folks later today on the Afternoon Drive show as well. You adjusted your time to do the interview with us, Mayor. We appreciate your making that adjustment. The road situation, and it's a tough one, and throughout southwestern Pennsylvania, various roads are covered by various government agencies. Some counties have county-maintained roads, city-maintained, municipal roads, township roads, state routes. So it might be a different plow truck wherever you might be driving, but different roads are covered by different parts of government, correct?
Correct. A lot of the major roads going through Uniontown are covered by PennDOT. Now, a rule of thumb, the side streets and the residential areas are covered by us. But there is a fine line. Some of those, like, does the state take care of this or do we take care of it? People have that question. But we can point you in the right direction and help you get taken care of.
Yeah. And then, again, doing the best you can and with limited resources at times. Any city has that to battle, whether you're dealing with Uniontown, whether you're dealing with the city of Pittsburgh, who really struggles at times, frankly, with broken-down plow trucks.
That's a big thing, Doug. I talked with the director of the street department, John Podolinsky, Sunday morning, and we were just talking about some of our plow trucks breaking down, and the guys that are plowing, they come off the road, fix the plow, and put them back out on the road. So they wear many different hats, and they wear them all well.
Yeah, I had a job once where part of my job was driving a plow truck. It's not a simple thing. It's nerve-wracking. You want to get as close to cars on the side of the road as you can. Obviously, you got to be careful. Those trucks are big, they're heavy, they slide. That can be nerve-wracking, that's for sure.
Excuse me, Doug. It sure can, and our drivers are very cautious. Sometimes mistakes happen, but they're never on purpose. And we've been pretty fortunate without having too many problems this snow.
Yeah, and think of a plow truck like a train crossing. Don't try to cut off a plow truck. Let it do its job.
Yeah, that's some good advice.
They
Doug.
can't stop quick. It used to drive me crazy when people would go in front of me. Like I've got a 1,000-pound plow on the front of this truck, and it's heavy enough, filled with rock salt. It's not going to stop on a dime, and it's not an easy job, and it's long hours, and you're on 24-hour call, 24/7 call. It's a tough job, that's for sure. Mayor, thanks so much.
It sure is.
Yeah, Mayor, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, sir.
All righty, thank you. Mayor Bill Gerke, goodbye, sir. Joining us here on the What's on Your Mind show. We're about a minute away from the CBS News at 2 o'clock. We're going to switch over topics. We're going to open the lines for talk after the 2 o'clock news. You can join us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. If you want to call during the news, especially the local news, you'll be the first one up after that. Then we're going to check in with our friends at the Commonwealth Foundation, talk a little politics. The budget is addressed by the governors coming up. We're going to talk about the latest. The state is right on the edge of budget issues these days, folks. So we're going to check in with Elizabeth Stell, who is with the Commonwealth Foundation. We'll get the latest on her. As I mentioned, I'll be back right after the 5 o'clock news today. We're going to check in with Brendan Howe. He writes for Athlon Sports, also the Butler Eagle newspaper. He'll be covering today the news conference by the new coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike McCarthy. I'll get that name right. I said the wrong name earlier. I appreciate our general manager, Brian, correcting me on that one. But before that, we have the 2 o'clock news on your local station at WMBS Uniontown, followed by local news as well, of course, with TJ. Looking outside right now, outside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios, we're looking at 18 degrees, feels like 2 below.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says he's looking forward to an investigation into the ICE shooting death of another protester in Minneapolis. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the latest.
The president says he will be watching over the investigation.
I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Speaking to reporters before heading to Iowa, the president steered away from some strong statements made by his staff about the shooting death of Alex Pretty, that Minneapolis ICU nurse killed by ICE agents.
I love everybody. I love all of our people. I love his family. And it's a very sad situation.
When asked if Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem should step down?
No.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Meantime, a judge in Minnesota orders acting ICE Chief Todd Lyons to appear in his courtroom in person on Friday to explain why he should not be held in contempt of court for violating an earlier order. It involves the case of an Ecuadorian man who came to the U.S. illegally in 1999 when he was a minor and was detained earlier this month and placed in immigration detention. TikTok settles as social media giants face a landmark trial over youth addiction claims. The plaintiff's attorneys confirmed that TikTok agreed to settle just before the trial kicked off. 2/3 of the country has now seen ice, snow, and record cold since Friday. More than 500,000 homes and businesses are still without power, mostly in the southeast. CBS's Nicole Valdez is in Nashville, Tennessee.
Heavy tree limbs are still causing major problems in terms of power outages that the local utility crews here have been spending the last few days trying to fix, but still we've got more than 100,000 people in the cold and in the dark.
A day-long hearing is underway on the National Transportation Safety Board's investigation into the deadly Potomac mid-air collision between a commercial jet and a military helicopter near Reagan National Airport 1 year ago this month. 67 people died. NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady says their work does not end today.
We must, it is our duty to relentlessly, vigorously pursue safety change.
Police say gang members targeted an Indiana judge for assassination on January 18th. Tippecanoe County Superior Court Judge Stephen Meyer and his wife survived the attack but were injured. Prosecutors allege that members of two gangs worked together to try to assassinate Meyer to derail a domestic abuse case against one of their own. Tim O'Malley with the FBI.
Violence or threats of violence against the judiciary or any public service is unacceptable.
5 people have been arrested. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show post-mortem on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200. Looking to update your home? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in kitchen and bathroom remodels that transform your space from outdated to outstanding. Our designers work with you to create the look you've always wanted with custom cabinetry, countertops, and flooring options to fit your style and budget. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to plan your dream kitchen or bath. Koval Building Supply. Everything you need to make your house feel like home.
Recent discoveries are expanding our knowledge of ancient humans.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk. Archaeologists working in Greece have discovered wooden tools dated to 430,000 years ago, the oldest wooden tools ever found. They would have been made hundreds of thousands of years before our own Homo sapiens species strolled in from Africa. The discovery pushing back the dates for just when our ancient ancestors began making and using tools. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Prize-winning composer Philip Glass has canceled the world premiere of his symphony about Abraham Lincoln at the Kennedy Center. It was set to take place on June 12th and 13th. Glass says that the Kennedy Center's current values conflict with the symphony's message. President Trump's influence over the center, including plans to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center, has sparked controversy and led to multiple cancellations. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Now the local, district, and statewide news. Being brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant Dieter. Keeping you warm and cozy in winter and cool and comfortable in summer with a quality Bryant gas furnace or air conditioning system. And now the news.
And good afternoon. It's 2:05. We have some snow showers and 15 outside the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios, Fayette County's personal injury attorneys since 1976. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano. We'll check sports and weather in just a bit. We'll start with school information for tomorrow. With the cold weather and the snow, we have a bunch of remote days, some closings coming in already. So here is the list that we have. Remote learning for tomorrow for Uniontown, Albert Gallatin, St. John the Evangelist in Uniontown, Fayette CTI, and the Monongalia County Schools in West Virginia. They'll all be on remote learning tomorrow. 2-hour delay for the Monessen City School District tomorrow. And closed tomorrow will be the Chestnut Ridge Christian Academy. So that is the list right now. We'll continue to update it. And there is a list on our WMBS Facebook page that will continue to be updated through the rest of the afternoon and tonight. The Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission will host a virtual town hall called No Hate in Our state from 6 to 8 tonight, with a focus on the large immigrant community in Charleroi, Washington County. The program is free and open to the public. The town halls are being held across the state and focus on addressing the root causes of hate and the role laws play in finding justice. A 2023 survey found that about 2,000 immigrants from 44 countries, including China, Spain, Indonesia, and African nations, make Charleroi their home. A house was destroyed by fire today in the Hawntown section of North Huntington Township in Westmoreland County. The blaze broke out around 11:30 a.m., and an elderly couple living in the wood frame house along the 300 block of Main Street escaped without injury. No further information has been released. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is joining the growing list of critics calling out the actions of ICE agents in Minneapolis. Fetterman issued a statement yesterday saying in part that the operation in Minneapolis should stand down and immediately end. Fetterman added that the city has become an ungovernable and dangerous urban theater for civilians and law enforcement, and ICE agents fatally shot a VA hospital nurse on Saturday. Stephen Colbert says the last episode of his CBS show will air on Thursday, May 21st. Michael Kastner has more.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert was canceled after a decade on the air, with the Paramount-owned network citing financial reasons. It's the end of The Late Show altogether, which first came on the air in 1993, helmed by late-night legend David Letterman. Colbert revealed the final date during an appearance on NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers. I'm Michael Kastner.
WNBS time is 2:08. Sports and weather after this.
439-2323.
For 24-hour emergency service, call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning,
Your service company.
Be prepared for bone-chilling winter weather. Have Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning install a Bryant high-efficiency furnace in your home to replace that old worn-out system you now have. Choose Bryant's Plus 90 gas furnace or other quality heating system to keep yourself and your family warm and toasty this winter. Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning will also keep your present furnace running at peak efficiency with their 15-point safety check and cleaning. Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning today for your appointment. 724-439-2323. That's Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
And in sports, tonight's the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS. Laurel Highlands is at Franklin Regional. Sprouse Insurance Group pregames at 6:40. The game will start at 7:30. It'll be on the radio as well as our WMBS YouTube page. Right now, Steelers are introducing Mike McCarthy as their new head coach. He is speaking to the media right now, becoming the fourth coach for the Steelers, replacing Mike Tomlin, who resigned at the end of the season.
The local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall. Phone 439-2323.
This Weather Watch is brought to you by Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon, 4500 PA 51.
We'll have snow showers this afternoon. 21 will be the high. The cold weather advisory starts at 7 tonight, and it'll run through 11 tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy, some snow showers tonight as well. 4 above will be the low, and cloudy, and 16 tomorrow. Right now, we have snow showers and 15 outside the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at 2:11 on this Tuesday. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, hour 2 of What's on Your Mind with Doug Saltzman here on WMBS.
This Weather Watch was brought to you by Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon, 4500 PA 51.
There's only one best lunch spot in Uniontown. Titlow Tavern and Grill on West Main Street, serving 8-ounce Reubens, foot-long cheesesteaks and subs, half-pound handmade burgers, plus pizza, calzones, strombolis, pepperoni rolls, and fresh salads like Greek, antipasto, salmon, steak, and chicken. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9, Friday till 10, Saturday 2 to 10. Dinner and happy hour specials nightly, and private parties are welcome. Call 724-437-6749. Titlow Tavern and Grill.
Hi, I'm Jason Brady, the owner of Brady's Rad Cafe, the new restaurant in Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's. Join us for our selection of unique burgers and hot dogs, steak and meatball hoagies, and more. Always fresh and made right here by friendly people in a welcoming throwback atmosphere at Brady's Rad Cafe. No frozen fast food, always fresh and fun at Brady's Rad Cafe in the Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borge Jr.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility combined with our personalized approach is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Zen's Antiques and Home Decor, part of the Cinder Shack family of vendors where you can find both antique and new furniture, collectibles, housewares, gift items including jewelry and candles, and so much more. Follow Zen's Antiques and Home Decor on Facebook for new items and information on upcoming events. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor in Building 2 at 3391 National Pike in Farmington. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor.
Hello, Uniontown and Fayette County. This is attorney Erica Dowd of Quattrini Law Group. Are you a veteran suffering from a service-related disability or disease? Not all injuries are obvious or happen quickly. We've helped hundreds of veterans with conditions like PTSD, neuropathy, heart conditions, and cancers get the benefits they deserve, even when their conditions didn't start until many years after service. VA benefits can be paid for any condition that could have been caused or worsened by your service, from Agent Orange exposure, Camp Lejeune water exposure, burn pits, or physical injuries in the service. If you were disabled from your military service, we can help you. The consultation is free and no obligation. Call us today at 1-888-534-6016 or Google Quattrini Law Group. Again, this is attorney Erica Dowd from Quattrini Law Group, reaching out to veterans like you.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Hour 2 of the What's on Your Mind show here on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Saltzman, happy to sub today for Russ, who's stuck out of town, I'm told, as is the case with lots of folks out there. Yesterday, when we were talking to Peter Greenberg, of course, is the CBS News travel editor, he reported that over 11,000 flights were canceled across the country. A lot of those they call preemptive cancellations. They realize what weather's coming. They want to make sure the planes, as they call in the business, the equipment and the staff are in the right cities so they can get those, especially when weather hits areas like Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, which is one of the busiest in the world. When things happen there, man, it can really cause problems across especially the eastern seaboard, but that's such a huge hub there. Pittsburgh International Airport, of course, at one point was a hub for U.S. Air, later bizarrely changed the name to U.S. Airways. Didn't make much sense. That airline is long gone at this point, as is their thousands, over 10,000 jobs that they had in southwestern PA. But yeah, when they were a hub, my gosh, you could fly just about anywhere out of Pittsburgh. But now it's oddly enough, there are more airlines in Pittsburgh following their demise, and the flights are a lot cheaper, believe it or not, than it used to be back then when U.S. Airways had such a monopoly. Practically, they had 90% of the flights out of Pittsburgh International Airport. You could fly anywhere. I realized that one time when I was asked to speak at a conference in Topeka, Kansas. And they had a direct flight from Pittsburgh to Topeka, and only because of the fact that it was a hub for U.S. Airways. In fact, they said that over 80% of the people who flew into Pittsburgh never left the airport because they were simply flying in here to fly somewhere to fly somewhere else. Back in the days of U.S. Airways being king in this region. Of course, they had hubs in Charlotte and Philadelphia as well, but Pittsburgh certainly was a big one for them. New airport terminal out there, as we spoke to the airport officials over the last month or so, up and running, and Pittsburgh's always been well known for being able to clear their runways very effectively. In fact, they've won awards. I didn't know they gave awards for that sort of thing. But what's your thoughts? How is the weather in your area? How is the snow being removed from your streets? You can tell us past stories of snowstorms. Give us a call on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line at 724-438-4593. I was talking to my brother earlier today, and we were talking about the Easter snow. We're trying to think what year it was, maybe 1970, 71. We had 2 feet of snow, and we had a classic old bright red Chevy station wagon my dad drove, and Easter morning we were trying to go over and pick up his dad, my grandfather, to go to church services, and could not get to his house, ended up going home. We have a great picture, my dad and I building a snowman in the yard. You don't think of snow on Easter. It was an early Easter that year, but that was a big-time storm. There was also, when was it? 1993. We had 2 feet of snow, I recall. What it was like trying to clear that out of driveways. I was doing it today. I'm 62 years old right now, and shoveling the snow today, I realized, okay, Doug, do this one layer at a time. I would do it for about a half an hour and then go take a break and come back 10, 15 minutes later, do it again. You don't want to push it too hard, folks. That's classic old fatherly advice, I suppose. But man, that snow can definitely get heavy. I mentioned earlier, I bought a newspaper from the 40s or 50s about an enormous snowstorm we had back then. It was the Herald Standard newspaper. I'll have to bring that in tomorrow and some good stories out of that. We do have a caller calling in right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Thanks for calling in to What's on Your Mind. Who's calling in?
Hey, this is Skipper.
Hey, Skipper, where are you calling from?
I'm here in Uniontown. I've never talked to you on one of your shows, but I listen to you all the time.
Well, that's nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I learn a lot whenever you have your guests on there. I really appreciate all the people you get, the politicians and the people behind the scenes and stuff. I really enjoy it.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I hope people believe me when I tell you that I didn't send you that thing to say to me. Thank you very much, Skipper.
Well, I just want to say there's a lot more people listening to this show than you would realize in this area, because I got people telling me all the time, hey, I heard you on the talk show. I heard you. A lot of different people that never call in, and there's a lot of people in this area listening to the show.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, we try to do our best.
And all day long. Yours is usually in the afternoon later.
Right. I'm filling in today for Russ, and I'll be back after the 5 o'clock news today. If you haven't heard enough of my voice during these 2 hours, you'll hear a little bit more of me this afternoon.
Well, it's real good. I mean, I really, like I said, I'm just going to reiterate, I really enjoyed all the people that you've talked to, politicians and all the people behind the scenes. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So anyways, but you was talking about snowstorms, and he was talking about in Easter, that Easter one.
Right.
I don't know what was it 70, 71, something around there?
I think I was about 5. I was born 63. I may have been maybe 8, 9 years old. I can't remember for sure. I'd have to look at the family album to make sure of that one.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11, and I'll never forget that day, because I was living here in Fairchance, and there's a little a fishing sports bar called High 2, which is right out the outskirts of Fairchance against the mountain there. And I remember we were going to go fishing the next morning in this trout pond, and I woke up, and there was like a foot of snow.
Yeah.
We still went, and we didn't catch any. We caught one fish, I think it was it. But, it was just beautiful the day before. The next day, there was just all this great big snow, so I'll not forget that.
Yeah, we got walloped that year. I grew up right off of Route 51 in the South Hills of Allegheny County. And I remember that snow we had. And, Coach, back in those days, I said my dad had that Chevy station wagon, real drive. I'm sure he had snow tires. No, my daddy put chains on the tires back then. There were no such things as all-weather tires back then. You had your summer tires, and then you put the studs on, too. And it's funny, the stories you remember. At one point, they claimed that the studs were causing damage to roads. Even, because you had to take them off at some point. The rule was to this day you had to have those studs off. So my dad had just bought brand new stud tires, and he was mad as heck, and he wasn't allowed to use them. They wouldn't install them. So he literally pulled the studs out of those tires one by one with a long nose, needle nose plier.
Right,
and
you can.
next year they changed the law back. You could use them. I remember my dad being so upset that he.
Well, actually, we installed our own studs back in the day.
Oh.
Just like you said, with needle nose ties, you buy them, they'd come in a box, and tires had the holes in them, and you could do your own studs.
Yeah.
We did that, but
maybe my dad
it'd
did
be
that.
interesting.
I was pretty young. Yeah.
It'd be interesting. You're the first person I've heard say that that's snow on Easter morning.
Yeah.
I have never heard anybody else since 1970 or whatever, 71 or whatever year that was. I've never heard anybody mention that except for myself. And I've said it probably 20 times a year telling people about how as a kid I woke up to go fishing and there was a foot of snow on Easter.
But the key
then
is
you was talking about
you
go
still
ahead.
went
Go
fishing.
ahead.
That's the important thing. You still went fishing anyways the next day.
Yeah, we did, but we only caught one fish. It was bad. You know, I guess the cold front made them where they weren't hungry and all that stuff.
And they go deeper then too when that
But
cold
another
hits.
one you were talking about, I don't know what year it was. I think it was like 93 or something. Or no, I'm sorry, in the 80s, 83 or something. There was a snow, and it was the first day of West Virginia hunting season. So that would be like the Saturday before Thanksgiving or the Monday. And I had a brand new truck, and I'm a hunter. And guess what happened? I woke up, and there was like 3 feet of snow. I said, I'm going hunting. I went to this dirt road, and all the trees that were like about 2-3 inches around, they were bent over across the road from both sides, and you couldn't even, you know what I did? I plowed through them.
It looked like a tunnel, probably. It
was clear down even worse than that. And I plowed through them with a brand new truck, scraped both sides of the truck up. You know, I'm a nut hunter, you know, and I was walking through the woods, and I couldn't see 15 feet. I almost stepped on a deer. It jumped up and scared me half to death.
Yeah, it's a little hard to follow a trail at that point with 2-3 feet of snow. Yeah, that's.
I walked like 100 yards, and I figured out that it's not going to be any different no matter how much further I walk. You can't see 10 feet, so I went back to my truck. My scratched up, brand new truck.
Hey, it's a pickup truck. That's what you're supposed to do with a pickup truck. I always see these. My gosh, there are pickups now that are pushing $75,000, $80,000. I'm like, they're never going to put anything in the payload of that truck. No one's spending all that money. But yeah,
I think those are the two experiences I can really remember about waking up and being big snows. I mean, we've had a lot of snows. We have snow like this every year. You know, there's cold weather like this every year.
Yeah.
You know, so people should be prepared for this.
Yeah, you have to be. And I'm always amazed. I was at a grocery store a couple of days before the storm was going to hit, and I didn't need toilet paper. I don't run out of toilet paper that easy. But I'm talking I was talking to one of the employees. I'm like, this place, oh my gosh, there's nothing left here. She said it's been chaos. People are coming in like they're going to be socked in the house for the next 4 weeks. And they said we're selling paper towel and Kleenex for people who desperately need toilet paper. I'm like, gee whiz, and do only people have one roll at a time at home? I always joke about that. And there was a woman there. She had to be in her mid 80s. I think she had 30 rolls of toilet paper. I was thinking to myself, she's not going to outlive that toilet paper, for heaven's sakes. So here will be inheriting. Hey, we appreciate. Go ahead.
I usually have to go to Morgantown and shop at Sam's Club, and I buy those great big 30 rolls or whatever. And I remember that toilet paper shortage, whatever it was the last time, and I was passing them out to my relatives like two at a time. I'm thinking, what? I don't know. It just confuses me why people don't have toilet paper.
Yeah, I don't. Or they think they're going to be stuck in the house for a month and a half. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll call your show another time, sir, whenever it's your regular talk show. But I listen to it all the time. Thank you very much.
Well, Skipper, that's very nice of you to say. Thanks so much.
All right, God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Skipper calling us here on the What's on Your Mind show. Again, I'm Doug Saltzman, filling in for Russ today. Glad to be here. We're with you till 3 o'clock today. I'll be back for the afternoon drive show as well. Coming up at about 2:35, we're going to check in with the Commonwealth Foundation. We talk to them regularly on the afternoon drive show. The governor will be giving his budget address, his proposed budget for fiscal year 2026 and 2027. The Pennsylvania fiscal year, of course, starts on July 1st and goes to June 30th of the next year. Federal budget fiscal year starts on October 1st and goes to September 30th of the next year. And the rest of the normal folks out there, households and municipalities, counties, etc., their fiscal year starts January 1st. It's a little confusing at times. But the governor will be giving his proposal. The state is is on the cusp of real budget issues. They are spending money that is not real money. I don't know how else to put it, but Elizabeth Stell, who's with the Commonwealth Foundation, will explain all that to us coming up here in just a few moments. Again, we have time if you want to jump in. One more call before you go to that news brief at 2:31, 724-438-4593. You'd have to be pretty old at this point to remember that snowstorm in the 50s. Doggone it, I forgot that newspaper. I bought it, of all things, at the thrift shop, and it talked about a 20-inch snowfall that hit, and literally the city was shut down. This was the local paper. As I mentioned, I think we have time for one more call, and we're going to grab that call right now. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind? Who's calling in?
Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
I had great memories of the Easter snowstorm because I remember the day before. I would think I was in 10th grade or something, and I made new Easter dresses for myself and my sisters, and we were going to wear them no matter what. And it couldn't possibly snow because Holy Saturday was just beautiful. And the next morning, we're getting poo-pooed, but darn it, Doug, we wore our dresses.
There we go.
There we go.
They didn't have knee-high boots back then. You probably had those big rubber boots back then they had in those days with the clasp on the front.
Yes. But don't worry. We took our patent leather shoes to church and changed in the back.
There we go. You had to wear
patent. On it, we didn't wear that. Of course, nobody could make... we walked to our church, and someone had to go get the priest and bring him up to risk his life. But they did it.
Yeah, we couldn't make it that morning. My dad...
What's that?
We couldn't make it to church that day. We tried. My dad was Lutheran. My mom was Catholic, so we'd go to both churches on Christmas and Easter, etc.
Yeah, that's very good.
We just couldn't make it to either one that day because that snow was so deep where we were. But I appreciate your calling in.
Got you. A lot of good memories there, Doug.
That's a
Take
good
care.
story. All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
We have another call here. Tell you what, let's skip that news brief. I'd rather take the calls here on the What's on Your Mind show. Who's calling in? You're next up.
My name is Joyce, Doug. I was just going to tell you, 1970 was the year of the big snow. It was my senior year in high school.
1970. Okay, yeah, I was, like I said, I was born in 63. I was thinking I was 8 or 9. I guess I was...
yeah, it was 1970. Cause I had company in for the holiday, and they from New York, and they were worried about getting back home that day. And then you mentioned one in the 50s. I wasn't born yet in 1950, 52, but my cousins talked about tunnels that they built, and
Yeah, this paper that I saw said it had 20 inches of snow. Of course, that's when trolleys were still running in Fayette County, and they had to shut those down as well. They said literally the city was shut down. But the paper, they did get a paper printed that day, and it came out the next day and talked about the snowfall that hit that area. So, yeah, you'd have to be, I guess, to have memories of that, you'd have to have been born in the late 30s or early 40s to remember that. But we appreciate your calling in. So what year did you say that big snowfall was in the 50s? You said 52? Nope.
I was told 1950.
1950. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I'm going to bring that paper in tomorrow for the afternoon drive show. But, it talked about the impact. Back when those newspapers, my gosh, I think they were 3 feet across. Remember how big the papers used to be. And, we appreciate your calling in with the update on that snowstorm. But thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a break right now, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk some politics, budget for Pennsylvania, and give you an update on that as we like to do. You're listening to What's on Your Mind on your local station at WMBS Uniontown. Stick around.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
hi, come on in. How are you?
For personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,944.
Well, much cooler temperatures are here, but you could still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Tune in to WMBS Saturday mornings at 8:20 for Your Financial Future with Gary Boatman, certified financial planner, investment advisory representative, syndicated columnist, and author, as he addresses such income issues as planning for retirement, future health care expenses, avoiding financial pitfalls, and much more. That's Your Financial Future with Gary Boatman, Saturday mornings at 8:20 right here on WMBS, where Gary Boatman welcomes your calls at 724-243-3075. That's 724-243-3075.
Ready to upgrade your home? At Ferris Carpet and Towel in Uniontown, you'll find premium flooring at prices that fit every budget. From plush carpet and durable vinyl to stunning hardwood tile and custom showers, Ferris has the styles and craftsmanship to bring your vision to life. Their expert team makes installation easy, fast, and done right the first time. Visit the showroom today and discover why homeowners have trusted Ferris for years. Ferris Carpet and Towel, quality you can stand on.
Everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
Having Hicks and Buzz Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller gladly answer healthcare questions and take care of your prescription needs. Hicks and Buzz also offers free prescription delivery, mail-out service for snowbirds, and dependable courteous service, all part of their good neighbor way of doing business. Hicks and Buzz Drugstore at 304 Morgantown Street, phone 724-437-2828. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday at Hicks and Buzz Drugstore of Uniontown.
That's Huey Lewis bringing us out of the break here on the What's on Your Mind show. Doug Saltzman subbing on the show today. I'll be back tonight for the afternoon drive show right after the 5 o'clock news. We just got this word into the studio here. As we've been mentioning, we were scheduled to air the Laurel Highlands at Franklin Regional game tonight. That has now been postponed, and we'll get information to you on that when that game will be rescheduled for. But I'm guessing that's weather-related, so the Laurel Highlands at Franklin Regional game tonight that was scheduled to have tip-off at 7:30 has now been postponed, and we'll keep you updated on that one as well. Elizabeth Stell's going to join us in a moment from the Commonwealth Foundation, but we do have a caller on hold, so we wanted to grab that one. Thanks for calling into the What's on Your Mind show. We have a couple minutes. Who's calling in? Yes. Who's calling in?
Carmela?
Yep, you're on. Go right ahead, ma'am.
Oh, I just wanted to, I've been listening about the storms. I was 9 years old when we had the storm in 1950.
And I understand it really just shut down the whole region, not just the city of Uniontown, but the whole region was socked in. 20 inches of snow, I understand. Is that your memory?
Well, where I lived at, the snows and drifts and all was like 4 feet.
Wow.
And my dad couldn't, he had a business and everything was shut down. People couldn't get nowhere. Houses were, everybody was stranded because back then you didn't have what we have today to get around. And it took a week. And it was on a Thursday because it was day after Thanksgiving. It was a Friday because Thanksgiving was on the 27th. And the storm came on the 28th. It It was a beautiful day on Thanksgiving, and my sister's birthday was going to be on the 30th, Sunday. She never left home, but she decided to go stay with her grandma for the night and did not come back for a week.
Amazing. Yeah, that back then, yeah, you would get sucked in, and there wasn't the radio was your connection back then. News was usually on maybe for 15 minutes at 6 o'clock at night, TV news, but radio was the way to get information. Well, we appreciate your calling in with your memory of that one. Thanks so much. We really do appreciate your calling in. All right, have a good one. Joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line from the Commonwealth Foundation. She's been a guest with us regularly. Today we're going to talk about the budget process and the upcoming budget season, as they call it in Harrisburg. Joining us is Elizabeth Stowe. Elizabeth, thank you very much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm staying warm. Hope you are too.
Yeah, we are here. And as you could just tell by that last caller, we've been talking about the great storms over the years. And there have been some big ones that hit here, but certainly this one is up there. It has really affected a lot of folks, a lot of schools, and then the cold too, of course. But let's talk about budget season. Last year, I think the governor's budget address just finished not too long ago. I'm joking, of course. Last year's budget address was the longest budget address I ever heard. I think it was an hour and a half long. It was more of a campaign speech, frankly, than a budget address, as I recall. But explain the purpose of, let's start with the basics, the purpose of the governor's budget address. He doesn't just send the budget to the General Assembly. This budget address idea has been done for many, many years, hasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So folks might be familiar with the State of the Union that the president gives for the nation on occasion. But every year at the state government level, the governor on the first Tuesday in February will present his budget proposal for the next year. So this is the beginning of the budgeting process that happens every year in Pennsylvania. They start the conversation with his proposal, and come hopefully the end of June, they end the process with finalizing the state spending plan. And then all through February and March, there'll be hearings. The legislature will have hearings talking about what the governor proposed, how much should we spend, where should we spend our dollars, our tax resources. But this kicks everything off. And it was a short break. We finished the budget process in November of 25, so we only got a couple of months off. And now we're right back at it, starting the conversation for the 26-27 fiscal year.
Yeah, and of course, 2025 was not an election year for the General Assembly. Of course, all 203 seats are up every year. Half the Senate is up every year, 4-year terms in the state Senate. So the budget season and election season are going to be overlapping this year. That just makes it more complicated, does it not?
Yeah, well, it does make it a little more complicated. I think the good news for folks is that in an election year, it's less likely that we will see a tax hike. So that's probably a good thing. But the big challenge right now is that we have a massive structural deficit, which means we're spending every year more than we're bringing in revenue. And that can only go on for so long until there's a day of reckoning. And so it's going to be really challenging, I think, for the governor and the legislature to come together to reduce that deficit without raising taxes and get back to some responsible spending.
Yeah, that can be confusing, saying spending money that's not really there. And they're not drawing it from the rainy day fund, which is not permitted. That's sort of the state's savings account that can be used in the state of a real emergency. But shortfalls on tax revenues not considered a real emergency, correct?
Right. Yeah, the rainy day fund is for things that you couldn't expect. Not just the year after year spending that you expect, but an unexpected emergency like COVID, like a natural disaster. It's an emergency fund. I mean, many people have their own personal emergency funds, and we should protect that for emergencies. But what they did last year is they were able to cover the gap between spending and revenues by using some fund balances that are left over from other COVID monies, some one-time sources, some reserves that they used. And that was fine, but you can only do that so many times before you run out of those extra resources, and then you're really stuck and you're looking at major tax hikes.
Yeah. Talking with Elizabeth Stowe, Vice President of Policy with the Commonwealth Foundation. Even during COVID, am I right? They didn't draw down the rainy day fund during COVID, did they? I don't think they did.
No, No, it actually had the opposite effect. All of the federal money pouring into the states allowed us to build up the rainy day fund. When COVID started, we had basically nothing in the rainy day fund, a couple of $100 million. And now we have a quite robust rainy day fund, which is good, and we should maintain that. What we're really talking about in Pennsylvania is a long-term problem where we've consistently spent more than we've taken in. So it's really about changing attitudes and the culture in Harrisburg. And that's difficult, but we think it's doable. And if we can just slow the spending growth, we'll be in a much more stable position, and folks won't have to worry about their state taxes going up.
Yeah, when you think about we'll talk about there's politics, that's election politics, and there's politics at the legislative level trying to deal with a budget like this. Of course, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, it changes time to time, resignations, sadly deaths, etc. But basically, it's a let me get this right here. It's a 102 to 101 majority for the Democrats. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the House. It's just
Right.
by one seat. It's very close.
Yeah. And that changes day to day based on who's available, if someone's sick, if they don't make it to the Capitol to vote, if they're not available. And the Senate has a larger majority. The Senate, the Republicans in the state Senate have been in the majority for the best part of 30-some years, except for a couple of years, many years ago. But then on the other side, of course, the governor is the Democrat. So you do have this split government. And there aren't that many states across the country who have split legislatures. Most are either all Democrat or all Republican. Pennsylvania is one of less than a handful, I think, right? About 5-6 states that have a split legislature.
Yeah. Last I looked, it was somewhere around 10 to 5 states that have what we call divided government. And that makes things a little more difficult. But I think it's what the people wanted when they voted for the legislature and the governor, and so it's incumbent upon our leadership to find a way to bring both sides together and come up with a spending plan that hopefully doesn't spend more than we're taking in and prioritizes the things that Pennsylvanians want to see prioritized. And what we've seen in Pennsylvania is just consistently spending more than we have every year, and that puts us in a very difficult position because then you can't look at expanding programs or doing new things because you're just focused on trying to balance the books.
Yeah, and of course, even though 2026 is an election year for the General Assembly, again, as I mentioned, all 203 members of the State House, half the members of the State Senate, which would be 25, of course. Even though it's an election year, those new members would not be sworn in until January of 2027. And we would hope the budget would not go that long. But the way things go anymore, you don't know. It should be done by June 30th. I've been around for quite some time. I always joke. I think the first budget, and when I was working in Harrisburg for then State Senator Mike Fisher, I think the entire state budget was $12 billion. Now it's pushing $50 billion, I guess.
Yeah. If you want to go back to 2000, just to give people another point in time, it was 39. And now we're right around 50. So it's it's grown a lot. Specifically, the general fund itself has grown 152% from 2000 to 2025. And so it's just accelerating in its growth, and that's what's creating a lot of the challenges.
Yeah, and as it's said often, the state doesn't have a revenue or a tax problem. It has a revenue or it has a spending problem, I guess is one way to put it. And the idea, it's not easy to cut spending once a program's created. There's always a joke in Congress. Once a federal agency is created, it takes an act of God practically to get rid of an agency that already exists. I guess that might be too blunt of a comment there. I hope I didn't offend anybody with that. But it is not a simple thing to eliminate a government program once it's up and running, is it?
Absolutely, because that constituent, the folks that worked really hard to get that program in place, they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep that program in place. So it becomes very difficult to continuously balance the budget if you're spending more every single year. And so we, are working on some ideas to help lawmakers identify places where we can actually reduce the spend to get that spend number under control so we can have a truly balanced budget. And I think that will help us get these budgets done on time. Shapiro's track record isn't very good. He hasn't finished a single budget on time. So we're hopeful that this year isn't another marathon. But that's part of the problem. When you're trying to fill these big deficits, it does tend to drag out the process.
I can remember back in the days of Governor Tom Ridge, there were budgets being passed in April, and the deadline's June 30th. It seems like that could be 100 years ago now. That you would have budget being passed like that. We talk about this being budget season, and of course, this is when the Appropriations Committee in the House of Representatives in Harrisburg and the State Senate's Appropriations Committee hold their budget hearings. Take a moment, if you would, to explain that process to our listeners.
Sure. So each major agency in the state, like the Department of Education or PennDOT, the Department of Transportation, they'll come before lawmakers in the Senate and the House, Republicans and Democrats, and they'll talk about their budget proposal. They'll explain, what they're asking for and why, any new programs they want to start, if they're asking for any large increases or anything they want to cut. They'll have a conversation about that agency's budget. They do that for every major agency, so it takes about a month, maybe even a month and a half to get through all of those hearings. But that gives the legislature the ability to take a deep dive and really understand where our tax dollars are going, what programs are working, what programs aren't working. And then they can go back and develop their own budget proposals to counteract the governor's, and then they start the negotiations.
Yeah. And that negotiation is those classic behind-the-scenes, smoke-filled rooms type negotiations, which at times, I remember many years ago, this is at the federal level, President Obama, during his campaign, the first time said, we're going to open up those budget negotiations to C-SPAN. And I'm sure the people behind the scenes are like, oh, no, that's never going to happen. To have something like that. But again, that's that ongoing negotiation process. And as you mentioned last year, even though the budget deadline is midnight on June 30th, the difference is now that it was years ago that state employees still get paid, correct?
Yeah, that's the big difference in terms of the pressure points. Now you don't have, like you had federal workers, we just went through some federal level, who weren't getting paid, who were laid off, who were sitting at home twiddling their thumbs because they didn't have a budget. Pennsylvania changed the law so that state workers continue to get paid. So now you really don't feel pressure to get a budget done until schools and social service agencies start to feel the pinch in their funding because they depend on so much from the state. So usually now it's September, October when you really start to feel the pressure mount to get a budget done. So that gives you all summer, where both sides can go back and forth. And I think that's another reason why you're seeing more and more late budgets. But the numbers are the numbers, and it doesn't matter how long you talk about it. At the end of the day, what we need to see in Pennsylvania is a budget that actually is based on the revenue, that's responsible, that's truly balanced, and that doesn't grow faster than the economy.
Yeah, and that's, of course, this being a gubernatorial election year too, that's certainly going to play into it as well. The governor's up for re-election. It seems very clear that another statewide official will be running against him. On the Republican side, that would be State Treasurer Stacey Garrity, who's been a regular guest on our show here. So all of that plays into this budget process. And when is the governor's budget announcement? When does he make that address before the General Assembly?
So he will be before the General Assembly giving his budget presentation on February 3rd, the morning of February 3rd. So if folks are interested, they can tune into that. You can go to the governor's website and get a copy of his written remarks if you want to read the whole speech. But you'll also be able to pull down the whole 1,000-page plus budget if you're so inclined. And you can see where all of your tax dollars are going and where the governor is proposing to spend more tax dollars. We anticipate that it will be a significant increase in spend. Again, we're at $50 billion. We anticipate the governor will ask for much more. And he'll probably have some tax hikes in there in order to pay for the spend. But we're hopeful that we'll be able to lower that spend number to start to chip away at the structural deficit so we can avoid that tax hike. Right now, the deficit as it stands represents a tax hike of about $1,500 per family of four in Pennsylvania.
And I think the only reason someone would want to read that budget, if they're not required to for their job, is if you're having trouble sleeping. That might be a good thing to do, to read the state budget, or even the budget presentation itself. I keep joking about that, but yeah, the budget presentation for this governor's have been very long. lately, so get ready for that one as well. Elizabeth Stell, Vice President of Policy with the Commonwealth Foundation. Take about 30 seconds, if you would, and tell the folks what the Commonwealth Foundation is and how they can get more information.
Sure. The Commonwealth Foundation is Pennsylvania's free market think tank. We take free market ideas and turn them into public policies that help all Pennsylvanians thrive. You can find us on the web at commonwealthfoundation.org. We're on Twitter at MyCommonwealth, and we also have Instagram and Facebook pages.
There we go. Elizabeth, thanks so much. We appreciate you joining us today.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Elizabeth Stell joining us here. Well, we're going to take a break and wrap it up for the afternoon drive show. I just said the wrong name. On the What's on Your Mind show. I knew I was going to say it. I said it once in the first hour of the show. I just said it again. Let's take this break. We'll wrap things up. I'll be back with you, and we'll talk about the afternoon drive show coming up in just a few moments.
Couples Comedy with married comedians Tom Cotter and Carrie Louise comes to the State Theater Center for the Arts Friday, February 13th at 8 p.m. for a hilarious Valentine's performance. An America's Got Talent Season 7 finalist and one of the funniest comics today, Tom Cotter, and Carrie Louise, a Last Comic Standing finalist, are sure to make it an uproarious Galentine's night out. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info. Recommended for those 16 and over.
Okay, my New Year's resolution was to listen to my body, and my body says it's tired, coughing, and hates January.
Sounds like your body wants MoneyMed same-day care.
I tried ignoring it. That was resolution number 2.
Let me guess, you Googled it?
Yeah, now I'm scared.
Let's not do that. I'm Kendall Soliero, a provider at Montgomery Medical. Walk in, get real answers, and start feeling better. No appointment needed.
Wow, a resolution I can actually keep.
New year, same germs. Walk into Montgomery Medical today.
Happy New Year! Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in!
John Clayton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dominic, Happy New Year to you.
Hey, JC, to you as well. Let me tell you how we are going to get this new year started off right. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 SCX and take up to $4,000 off MSRP on 2026 Explorer.
Dang, Dom, that's a deal. Listen, we have great offers on all of our new models. And check this out, leasing is back. Lease offers have gotten significantly better, so stop, click, or call to get all of the details.
Pre-owned, you know we got them. We have over 60 in stock. Most are certified with factory warranty and competitive rates.
We are continuing to offer mobile service, online maintenance appointments, and our very popular pickup and delivery option. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offers include all applicable incentives. Sale ends February 2nd.
Laurel Ridge Eye Care reminds us that vision problems may develop so slowly you don't even notice until you find yourself reading less and straining to focus. If that's happening to you, call Dr. Aaron Sobel at Laurel Ridge Eye Care for a complete vision exam. If there's one thing you shouldn't overlook, it's your vision. Laurel Ridge Eye Care and board-certified ophthalmologist Dr. Aaron Sobel remind you that early detection of eye disease can help prevent blindness. Their complete vision exams can help determine if you are developing problems. Laurel Ridge Eye Care offers full-service medical, surgical, and laser eye care with cataract surgery performed at Uniontown Hospital. Don't take chances with your eyes. Schedule your appointment today by calling Laurel Ridge Eye Care at 724-437-2222. That's 724-437-2222. All insurances are accepted, as well as Visa, MasterCard, and debit card at Laurel Ridge Eye Care, 130 West Fayette Street in the former Hockey Funeral Home.
WMBS high school basketball coverage is proudly sponsored by the law firm of Goodwin Como. Voted Fayette County's best attorney, Benjamin F. Goodwin, and the award-winning Goodwin Como team have been trusted by your friends and neighbors for nearly 2 decades. From estate planning and administration to personal injury, workers' compensation, property matters, family law, and criminal defense, they deliver dedicated, personalized representation when it matters most. With 2 convenient offices in Uniontown and Bell Vernon, visit GoodwinComo.com or call them at 724-438-1616 for your free initial consultation. Goodwin Como, righting wrongs, securing justice.
This is Dr. Fraser Stokes of U.S. Digestive Health in Uniontown. Doctors Calabrese, Hoppy, Lorenz, and I want to wish the very best to all our local hoops teams this season and remind everyone that our team of board-certified specialists are highly committed to provide the highest quality of care for any and all gastrointestinal and liver problems. Call us at 724-437-7677.
WMBS.
That's Roundabout by Yes, bringing us out of the break here on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Saltzman. It's the What's on Your Mind show. Thanks for listening today, folks. I'll be back today after the 5 o'clock news for the afternoon drive show. We appreciate your joining us right now. Appreciate the calls that came in. Want to thank our guests for joining us, including Elizabeth Stell, of course, from the Commonwealth Foundation. I'm showing right now 19 degrees outside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Feels like 0 going down to, what's it going down to tonight? 2 degrees. TJ will be here with the local news following the national news. He'll also give you an update on that weather forecast as well as, of course, sports as well. Change in plans tonight. We did have the Laurel Highlands at Franklin Regional game scheduled. That has now been postponed, and we'll give you an update. TJ will give you an update on what will be airing tonight, but I'll be back after the 5 o'clock news with the afternoon drive show. I'll be in tomorrow, too, for a longer version of the show. I'll be on from 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock tomorrow night, unless plans change there. This weather's changing a lot of plans out there in the world of sports, but all that information will be available to you coming up soon as possible. Again, cold out there, folks. Be careful. We have the cold weather advisory, the warning as well. TJ will get you all that information, but first we'll get that CBS News update from New York as well. We appreciate you joining us today, folks. Cold out there. Stay warm. Thanks for listening. CBS News is next on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Just in, the Pima County, Arizona Sheriff's Office is responding to a shooting involving Border Patrol near the U.S.-Mexico border. Meantime, sources tell CBS News that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is facing scrutiny in the wake of the latest Minneapolis shooting by federal immigration officers. But President Trump, before heading to Iowa, was asked,
Kristi Noem going to step down? No.
More from CBS's Scott McFarland on changes taking place.
You have Kristi Noem now, according to our latest CBS News reporting, who'll be more focused on the southern border versus this interior enforcement. Interior enforcement is a way of characterizing having ICE agents in Midwest U.S. cities like Minneapolis. You have Greg Bovino moved out of Minneapolis on short order, and you have Tom Homan shifting from Washington to Minneapolis. That's a shakeup, and I think it's an indication that there's a recognition